Chris, you were not being untruthful about Devin McAbee and his skill set. Just talk about what Devin's meant and what he continues to bring to this offense.
I'll tell you what, he's just been a pleasant surprise. You know, one of these days you guys will listen to me. But he is, I tell you, we kind of saw it early. We saw it in the spring. Just the way he moves on the field is different. And, I've coached, a little while, and I've seen a few kids, and I haven't seen many kids move the way he's able to move and twist and contort his body and able to get into some of these holes that not everyone's able to get into. And I mean, he's got really good vision, and he has excellent velocity through the line. He's just a natural ball carrier. So his biggest thing right now is just continuing to add strength, because I think that'll help him in the yards after contact department. But we're very excited about where he is at this time.
What were the conversations like with him when he wanted to come and join the program and walk on? Kind of recount how those went.
Well, he actually, when I reached out to him, he was on his way to his mom's wedding. She had just gotten married this summer, remarried, right. And I was like, hey man, this is Coach Barclay from Purdue. Watch your video, love what you do, and I see you're committed to, I believe he was committed to Navy, and I was like, would you have interest in coming to Purdue and maybe playing in the Big Ten? He's like, absolutely, Coach. Like, that's my dream school. And so, at that point, the conversation kind of it persisted, and I was like, all right, man, I think you probably at the wedding now. You probably need to go support your mom. But he called me right back after the wedding. He was fired up. He was kind of trying to figure out how to tell Navy because he was supposed to be there in 2 weeks from that date. So that was kind of tough. But I'm so excited he made the choice to come here.
Mm-hmm. Is there a, I guess again, just describe for us his running style.
I try to call him. I've kind of compared him to like a bar of soap. He's slippery, a wet bar of soap. It's just hard to kind of get a grasp on him. And he's slight in stature, but that's kind of it's a blessing though. Because they have a hard time kind of locating him in there, and he plays with good speed through the line of scrimmage. So, those linebackers and things, sometimes they have a hard time seeing which gap he's in. And he's able to really kind of stay really low in between the tackles and find those creases. And he's got a lot of confidence, and he's run the ball a lot in high school. He's got a lot of carries, run for a lot of yards, so he's seen a lot of pictures. There's not many pictures out here that are new for him, and that was the intrigue when I watched the video was, wow, this guy has seen a lot of pictures, and he's got answers for all scenarios. And so I said, I'll just give him a shot. We got to get bigger, but I'll give him a shot and see how he does. And he's really taken it to heart, and he's gotten better every time he's stepped on the field.
Well, how come nobody offered him right at college?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's just because of where he's from, like Boonville. Like to this day, I'm not exactly sure where that is, but because I never went down there, I just phoned it. And I mean, he's incredible. Like, I watched the game when he played against our freshman quarterback, Brady Allen. And the kid, I think, accumulated over 500 yards rushing and like 5 or 6 touchdowns in one game. I was like, that's hard to do in a video game on rookie. Like, that's difficult. So for you to be able to do that, that speaks to your savvy, the way you see the game, how you're able to move on the field. There's not many people that can move like that. So I think he's got a real chance.
Did you just happen to come across this game film, or did someone send it to you? Did they send it to you?
I was actually looking at the All-State teams.
Okay.
It's kind of what I try to do. I don't want to give all my secrets away, but I was looking at the All-State teams, and then I started looking at this kid, and I started researching him. I said, okay, he's a state champion 300-meter hurdler, huh? Okay, that speaks to his endurance and his gait. He's got good long stride, and so that also speaks to his speed. And so I was like, okay, and I watched the video. I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? I mean, I don't understand it, like why he doesn't have more. And so, I'm just fortunate that, I came across the video and the young man decided to believe in us, and he's definitely got a bright future in front of him.
You haven't had a lot of depth in your room the last few years, but
yes,
now
sir.
you do. When King goes out, just having guys to turn to that you trust that can still produce for you on the field.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I feel like I've kind of been prepared for this moment. I mean, back when I had Xander, I want to say his first spring, I think DJ Knox might have been out, Markel Jones might have been out, Richie Worship might have been out, Tario might have been out. And I vividly remember that Xander played every snap in the spring game. It was 107 snaps. Right. And at that point, I said, this kid's different. This kid's different. And so now you've got really King, you've got Kobe Lewis, who's coming along. He's just taking a little while to kind of get in the playbook and get his bearings, but he's coming along. He's ready to kind of to blossom. And then Devin and Dylan. You know, so I feel good about the room. They're all different, and they all bring different things to the table. I kind of tell them they're like the Avengers, the Infinity Stones. Is that what they're called? With what's my man, Thor, Thanos.
Yeah.
They're like Infinity Stones. They're all different, you know, and I can appreciate each one of their games.
This is what what the running game has done in the red zone this year. I mean, it's obviously a big improvement from last year. What has allowed you guys to have that success, and what's the offensive line doing for you in those situations so you can score down there?
Oh, the offensive line's doing a great job. I mean, they've definitely come a long way. I mean, Coach Williams and Coach Callaway have done a great job developing those guys, especially the young guys coming along, really getting more physical and pushing the line of scrimmage. And we just really tried to make a point of, hey, let's understand something. Yards don't win games. Points win games. So I might want to rush for 1,000 yards, and that's beautiful. But if I don't score 9 or 10 touchdowns with it, we're going to lose. We've got to find a way to get to pay dirt, because 6 wins games. And so we've got to do everything in our power to not be denied, especially when we get in the tight zone, in the red zone. We've got to find a way to get in the end zone. And I thought last year there were too many opportunities, and we just watched them all this summer, where we had opportunities. We're getting tackled at the 2, getting tackled at the 3, getting tackled at the 1. I said, these are missed opportunities, gentlemen. These are why we're missing games. We're losing games. So we've got to turn these into touchdowns, and then that creates the difference, and then we win more games that way. So, you know, hopefully it starts to turn the corner. I mean, obviously we've got work to do. We're 1-2 right now, but we want to continue to push the envelope.
You mentioned Kobe Lewis a little bit already. Just what strides do you need to continue to see from him, I guess, to continue to take advantage of some of the increased opportunities?
I mean, definitely continue to come along with his knowledge of the playbook, reacting, playing a little faster, anticipating as opposed to reacting and kind of waiting for things to happen. I think he was doing that a little early on. But now I'm seeing him play with a little bit more confidence. He's seeing the signal. He's able to get lined up quicker. And he had one of his better practices today. So definitely looking for him to give us a spark at some point, and excited about him being here.
Absolutely.
4 deep in terms of options at running back. Where does Lewis sort of fit into the 4 in situational?
Well, one thing that I've come to understand, I mean, the kid is actually pretty good in pass protection. And, you know, that's an area where I've got to challenge the room, and I've got to challenge myself. We've been a little erratic in that area, and we've got to shore it up. You know, we've got to shore it up, all the guys, and he's been a pleasant surprise in that department. So I've got to get him more involved in some crucial situations where it becomes a throwing scenario, because I do trust him in pass protection.
And what was your reaction to seeing, going back to Xander Horvath, what was your reaction to seeing him contribute so much at the NFL level after being a 7th-round pick?
I'm not shocked. I know you all are, because you never believe me. But I saw it early. He's different. And I don't want to speak too soon. There's a lot of time. You know, he's got a lot of season. And he's got to stay healthy. He's got to keep busting his tail on special teams, doing all the little things. But the way he came in these doors prepared him for what he's experiencing right now. And I say that because when he came in these doors, I told him, I said, look, man, fullback, special teams. And the role can grow from there, maybe, depending on how we do with that. So he understood the assignment, and he just took it, and he got better and better and better, and now he's in the same scenario in the league. So he's been prepared for this for years now, and you know, I'm just so proud of him. I just ordered my jersey the other day. It'll get here. I got my hats and everything, but I just ordered my jersey. It's authentic. The numbers are raised and everything. It's going to be here in a couple of days, so I'm so excited. And he's just fired up. We just got to get a W. Had a tough loss last week to George Karlaftis and the fellas, but we'll bounce back next week.